Imagine looking for a romantic partner today. You download a popular dating app on your smartphone, and you swipe left and right looking at pictures. You think you are being completely modern and independent, but your ancient human brain is playing a trick. Every choice you make is controlled by a radar programmed 30,000 years ago in the deep Paleolithic. Back then, a bad decision did not mean embarrassment. A bad decision meant your entire bloodline went extinct. Forget the Hollywood myth of the violent caveman brute dragging a helpless girl by her hair into caves. Prehistoric romance was a high-stakes, tactical game of survival. Welcome to the official channel called The Red Tie. Today we decode the biological menu of ancient dating. Look inside the small nomadic camp of the Ice Age. In these families, women were not helpless crying victims. They gathered up to 70% of daily calories. They collected nutritious roots and tracked down small game, while the men hunted massive mammals across the tundra. They were the economic backbone of the entire community. If a young man behaved like a toxic idiot, the women of the tribe would simply exile him. They pushed him out into the freezing, bleak wilderness, and in the Stone Age, loneliness meant certain death. Prehistoric flirtation required supreme social intelligence and respect. How did a Paleolithic teenager actually show romantic interest? They did not have flowers or boxes of chocolate. Instead, a young man used highly specific survival gifts. He would offer a beautifully carved piece of flint. A sharp stone knife took many hours to create. Giving it away was a huge sacrifice of labor. It showed he was ready to work for you. A girl could show her interest using food gifts. She would offer rare, sweet, wild berries or honey. Sharing food was the ultimate sign of deep trust. It was the prehistoric version of buying someone dinner. The first crucial ingredient was the hidden nose code. Nomadic clans were small, consisting of around 30 people. Everyone living around the campfire was a close relative. Inbreeding led to dangerous mutations and very weak offspring. So evolution invented an alarm system inside your nose, called the Major Histocompatibility Complex, for defense. When teenagers from different tribes met at big festivals, they literally smelled each other's hidden immune systems. A cave woman hated scents that resembled her own family. She wanted a completely opposite immune code for children. Their offspring would inherit a super shield against deadly viruses. They swiped right with noses before screens existed. The second ingredient was the visual fashion scene resume. Prehistoric humans could not buy luxury cars or watches. Instead, they used their own skin as a canvas. They covered their bodies in bright red, earthy ochre and drew dark charcoal geometric lines on their limbs. Ochre protected their bare skin from freezing winter winds, but it was also used to create beautiful tattoos. They wore complex necklaces made of pierced seashells and sharp wolf teeth, mixed with heavy mammoth ivory. These ornaments were not just pretty decorations for dancing, they were a visual business card of your survival. A necklace of 10 cave bear teeth proved status. It showed you could protect infants from apex predators. Fashion was a genetic signal of supreme biological quality. The third ingredient was the prehistoric high-intelligence showcase. A man could not win partners with big muscles. He had to prove his brain was highly developed. Complex creative thought was incredibly attractive and sexy. Ancient cave art and music were tools for seduction. Imagine a dark, smoky cave during a freezing blizzard. A man plays a melody on a bone flute. The flute was carefully carved from a vulture bone. He sings rhythmic stories about spirits and hunting strategies. This was a prehistoric vocal rap battle for love. He had to improvise lines to impress the audience. Music requires immense neurological coordination and great lung capacity. It proved your brain was functioning flawlessly without defects. Artistic talent was the original ancient IQ test score. Women chose the smartest musicians to secure bright kids. The fourth ingredient was the high-intensity physical sports arena. When nomadic groups met, young men went into overdrive. They did not just sit and talk around fires. They competed in brutal physical showcases to impress girls. They threw heavy stone spears at distant targets together. They wrestled in the snow to prove raw strength. They ran through rough, rocky terrain for long hours. A cave woman carefully evaluated the structural symmetry of bodies. Straight, strong legs meant chasing deer for 3 days. Broad shoulders meant carrying 50 kilograms of fresh meat. Physical fitness was the guarantee against starvation and cold. The seasonal festival was an athletic scouting combine for romance. The fifth ingredient was the secret female selection council. A young cave woman never chose partners entirely alone. She utilized a social tool called group screening processes. She consulted her sister's mother and wise old grandmothers. The female elders evaluated a man's long-term reputation. They watched how he behaved during stressful hunting trips. Did he share his meat with old sick people? Did he throw angry tantrums when a hunt failed? An unstable lazy man was a biological group liability. If the council gave a red light, it ended. Sisterhood was the original gatekeeper of human reproduction. There were also secret romantic dates away from camps. Young couples would walk to secret artistic caves together. They would leave their handprints side by side on walls. Archaeologists have found these ancient double handprints in Europe. They are frozen moments of prehistoric teenage dates. They also shared secret tokens, like small carved stones. A tiny stone animal sculpture was a love token. It was carried everywhere as a lucky romantic charm. But how did prehistoric humans handle the concept of jealousy? In the Paleolithic, betrayal was a dangerous survival hazard. If a partner cheated, it endangered the entire tactical team. A father might stop providing meat for the helpless baby. A mother might lose protection from freezing night predators. So the small tribe controlled romance with strict gossip. Everyone watched everyone else around the shared nomadic campfire. If a man broke his romantic commitment to a woman, the entire clan would shame and isolate him completely. Loyalty was not a moral rule, but a biological necessity. When a match was approved, how did they celebrate? They did not have expensive modern weddings or churches. Instead, couples participated in intense spiritual initiation rituals together. The shaman of the tribe would paint their faces matching. They danced around giant roaring bonfires during seasonal eclipses. They drank symbolic herbal tea to connect their souls. Then, they walked into the deep, dark wild alone. They had to survive 3 days without tribal help. Returning alive proved the spirits blessed their new partnership. This survival test was the original holy wedding ceremony. Did these couples stay together for their entire lives? Lifelong holy matrimony did not exist in the Paleolithic. Relationships were governed by a strict biological window contract. This evolutionary contract lasted about 3 to 4 years. This is the exact time a human infant needs. A baby requires constant protection and intensive mother's breastfeeding. During these dangerous early years, parents worked as teams. They fought off hunting hyenas and the brutal climate. But when the child could run, the contract expired. Parents parted ways amicably to find new genetic matches. Serial monogamy kept the ancient gene pool incredibly healthy. Look at your modern smartphone one more time now. When you open an app, you think you are modern, but you listen to whispers of the ancient tundra. You look for facial symmetry, which represents good health. You want status, because instincts fear the dark winter. We are still those same painted teenagers dancing around trying to find matches before the fire goes out. Hit the like button right now on this video. Subscribe to the unique channel named The Red Tie. Do it for your incredible long evolutionary human journey. See you in the next historical story very soon.